Hi and welcome to the Birkbeck Futures Bite-Sized Career Series. My name's Lucy. I'm one of the employability consultants here at Birkbeck, and I'm going to be taking you on a virtual tour of the online careers portal. It's going to be a reasonably quick tour, but I'm going to cover some of the key things. So looking at how to access and navigate the portal, so what you can access and how you can find stuff, look at some of the tailored careers programs that we've launched, identify a few of the useful tools such as Career Pulse, CV 360 and live chat, so some of the key things you would find beneficial to use, and then highlight some of the resources that are available, including things like LinkedIn Learning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the careers portal and I can demonstrate how it works. So for those of you who haven't accessed the careers portal before, you do it through your My Birkbeck profile, log in as you would do normally. There's a careers and employability link on the on your profile. If you click on that, that will automatically launch the careers portal. If you haven't used it before, you will be asked to complete some data protection questions, and then you'll come through onto this home screen. Now, the first thing that you'll see is the Career Pulse. I'm in a test system, so it's calling me test. Your name will appear there. But what Career Pulse is a very short self-assessment looking at your employability. So how confident are you in terms of your employability? So it's a number of questions, you rate your confidence against them. It will then automatically generate a report that you can look at, gives you some feedback, some ideas on things that maybe you want to work on further, and direct you through to some of the e-learning programs that run alongside Career Pulse. Now, I'm not going to do the test now, simply because we don't have time, but I would hugely encourage you to have a go once you get into the portal. Okay, so this is the home page. You'll see here that there is an accessibility button. So if you do need any accessibility tools, click on this button. You can identify the ones that are going to help support you. You'll see that you have a pop-up here. This is active on the system at the moment. It's not always there. It depends whether we've got something that we wish to promote. And at the moment, this is a survey for Abintegro because they're the providers of the careers portal who are looking for some feedback. So I'm just going to X out of that one. So that's how you get rid of it. You'll then see this grey navigation bar here. So this is kind of important. This is where everything we can find most things, and I'll go through each of these in a moment and show you exactly what's behind them. You then have the careers carousel, which sits here. At the moment, this is static because we are trying to direct students to the new careers programs that have been launched. But if you're watching this later on, you'll see that it revolves. So it will have things like workshops that are coming up, platforms to access, competitions, various things like that. Then if you go down, you'll come across here. So this is the welcome bar. Here you'll see the latest jobs. So these are the jobs that Birkbeck Talent, our bespoke recruitment agency, are working on. They will appear here. You can view more detail about those jobs by clicking view all, or you can click on a specific job. The next box is latest news. So if you receive the Careers Week newsletter that comes out from the system every Friday, this is where the news is stored. So you can go back in and see various articles. So that will be things about stuff that the Birkbeck Futures are doing, but also some of the curated articles from the online platform. This is your progress. So every time you do something within the system, it'll record it here. If you click on this button, this will open out and you can see all of the different activities that you've done. And you can click on these to continue where you left off as well. Then we have our homepage tiles. So these are easy access for various different things. If you don't take your Career Pulse immediately as you go into the system, you can find it here. Just click on this and it will launch what you saw initially. We also have a tile for Birkbeck Futures. So if you want to find out more about the things that we're doing, so for example, Birkbeck Talent, the Alumni Careers Clinic, you can click on these and it will take you through to more information. These remaining tiles towards the bottom, these are all linked to the Career Pulse. So Career Pulse assesses your confidence in relation to these 7 areas. And each one of these, so if you click on each of these tiles, it will take you through to an e-learning program which is aligned to those particular areas that you can work through. So it's a number of activities, videos to watch, and offline activities to complete as well. But you can also do them as standalone modules. You don't necessarily have to do it as part of Career Pulse. Now, the new careers programs are situated here. So these are 3 separate careers programs for different stages. So that's early careers, so somebody who's just starting out, looking for their first graduate role, for example. Career changers, so somebody who's looking to completely shift away from their current role. And then established careers, so somebody who's established in their career but actually wants to move forward or develop themselves. Now what happens with these is you click on the one that you resonate with the most, and it will bring you through to a landing page, and then you'll complete an early career self-assessment. So this is very similar to the Careers Pulse. It looks very similar, but this is assessing your confidence and your skills and ability in specific relation to early careers. Now, under each of the careers programs, there are three programs. And this self-assessment will direct you to the most appropriate one for where you are at in terms of your career progress. I would highly recommend working through those as well. If I go back to the home page, then you'll see down here you have a grey search bar. If you're looking for specific content, you can type that in here and it'll bring up all sorts of different articles, videos, etc. You click on those, it launches them. And then going back up to this grey navigation bar here, we have the Career Pulse tab. So again, if you don't do it initially, or you want to retake your Career Pulse to see how your confidence in your employability has changed, you can go back here, click on it and retake it. You'll see your Career Pulse report here, so you can go back in and see your feedback. And then this is the My Employability Programme. So that's the 7 tiles below. That's where you can access your employability programme and restart it again or start from where you left off. Now, under appointments and events, we have lots of really useful stuff. One is the careers appointments. So you can book a 30-minute one-to-one session with one of the employability consultants through the system. What you do is you click on this. It will launch any of the available appointments. So they appear here like this. If you don't see something that works for you, please do check back because they are added pretty regularly. To select one, you highlight one which is in blue, which means that it hasn't been booked. If it's greyed out, it's booked. You'll then see who's organised it, the time. This is some information around the appointment. You'll be asked to complete your one-to-one form, so some details around why you want to have that meeting. And you'll be asked to submit that form along with your CV in advance of the meeting. And the one-to-one won't be confirmed until those documents have been received. You can then see your bookings up in this corner. So if you forget what you've got, you will get an email confirming it. But if you want to double check it, come back to this page and double check there. There's also information about our drop-in sessions and all of the career sessions and events that we have going on. These will take you through to the Birkbeck Careers events page, which means you can then book on to the various sessions and see what stuff is running. Then we have our learning tab. This has lots of content and assessments and things that you can utilise. So there's some e-learning in there. You can do careers assessment. So if you want to have a look at your workplace preferences or your motivations, for example, you can do a short online assessment. We have lots of videos, podcasts looking at industry leaders, Birkbeck alumni who are talking about what they do and how they got there. There's also lots of industry reports. We also have a lot of written advice. So if I just show you this. So written advice is where there's lots of templates and content that you can access in relation to things right the way through from applications through to being in employment. So you can see some CV templates here. You can look at some application form example questions. You can look at some of the competency-based interviews. So there's a huge amount of resources to explore here. You can also access the newsroom here as well. So that is, as I said before, any of the articles that come out via the Careers Week newsletter every week. That's where you can go in and access them if you don't access it through the tile on the homepage. And then if we have a quick look at tools, so I think one of the key tools we've got here is CV 360. So this is where you can upload a copy of your CV and get instant feedback on it. So as you can see, you scroll to the bottom, start here, upload your CV, then you'll get an instant feedback report. If you don't have a CV yet, you can have a look at the templates, or you can CV Builder to create one and then upload it. The report you get back looks at things like content, structure, spelling, grammar. It covers about 50 odd checks. If you meet a certain benchmark on it and the service is available, you can also submit your CV through to one of the careers advisors for review as well. But I would, I think this is a really good starting point if you're looking at developing your CV and making sure that it's tailored for a particular role. Also under here we have the interview simulator, so you can do some practice interviews, so create some questions. You can also do an elevator pitch builder, so it takes you step by step, looking at how to build that elevator pitch ready for networking opportunities. We then also have our free access to LinkedIn Learning and Digital Garage. So they're a range of online courses. So they range from very tech things like coding, but then through to some of the more soft employability skills. As I said, it's completely free. You just click here, put in your normal Birkbeck credentials, and you'll be able to access all of the information that's on the programme. We also have a collaboration with Candidate Talent, so you can practice some psychometric assessment tests, so verbal reasoning, numerical reasoning, logical reasoning, for example. So if you've got something like that coming up, you can have a go at practicing them. Then we have the Jobs tab. So we have a job search engine. So this is another way of accessing. So if you, on the home page, if you click on that jobs bit, it will take you through to this. So there's a couple of useful things to note on here. Any of the featured jobs are anything that Birkbeck Talent is working with. So you can get in contact with Birkbeck Talent about those roles, and you can also be supported with your application. Another great feature that I like is that you can track employers. So so Abentegro, who power the platform, are creating job profiles for different, company profiles for different organisations. You can find out more about them. You can follow them on social media, and you can follow them for latest updates in terms of what they're doing from a jobs perspective. This will continue to grow, so do use it and track it back. You can search for jobs as well. So this is powered by Indeed. So you can search in much like any other way that you would do on a normal jobs platform. You are also welcome to talk to us about those applications if you need support in terms of your CV, cover letters, application forms, etc. Also under the jobs tab, we have things like the employer trackers, company and industry research, so that if you've got an interview coming up, you can research organisations, or you can have a look at the organisations that you might want to work for. If you're an international student, we have a partnership with Student Circus. So that's a job platform for employers who are willing to sponsor the Tier 2 visas. So it's a really good support if you are an international student. We also have down the bottom the ability programme. So if you're a student with a disability, long-term health, neurodiverse or mental health condition, we've got some job search resources there which are very specific to you. Then you can connect with us. I would highly encourage you to connect with us on our social channels. You can access them all through here, simply because that's where we share quite a lot of our content, information about activities, workshops, job opportunities, etc. And one thing I didn't mention was under the learning tab, so any documents you create on the site, they will appear under your My Documents underneath the Learning tab. So you can go back in. So if you create a CV on the system, if you create a covering letter, so you can use this system as an opportunity to collate all of your careers related information and documents, so it's all in one place. If you need help at any time, you can contact us via customer support or contact employability. It's normally better to contact us employability because it tends to be a bit quicker. But if you are having a technical issue, you can let the platform providers know and they can help sort that out for you. I talked about live chat, so that's the final tool I wanted to talk to you about. At certain drop-ins would normally run. At the moment, we're working remotely. You'll see a little speech bubble will appear here. If you click on that, it launches the live chat function. This is where you can talk to one of the careers advisors, so you might have a question about some of the resources on the portal. You might want help with your CV. Click on that and you can have a conversation. That happens between 4 and 6 Monday to Thursday and 3 to 5 p.m. on a Friday. So that is the careers portal in a nutshell. I know it was quite quick, but hopefully it's given you an insight into how to get onto the platform, how you can access different resources, and some of the key things that you might want to use. So I would say absolutely get in there, try it out, have a play. We will be running some live workshops where we can go through things in a bit more detail. But if you do have any questions about the portal, either get in touch via live chat or get in touch with employability@bbk.ac.uk. Don't forget to follow us on our social channels. And finally, thank you ever so much for joining us.